Yo. Okay, so here's a quick video where I'm just going to explain how to use the XSF archiver. So I'm just going to be quick with this one because I've re-recorded this like 20 times now today, but yeah. So I will assume that you already know how to unpack the big archives because I have multiple videos where I do that. Um, well, actually, no, I only have one. But you should know how to do that by now. And when you have the game unpacked and running off of unpacked files, um, you will have these, which is the streaming, basically the levels. And these are streaming files, so containing the files for the different maps. So to mod these with my tool, it's pretty simple. Now think about these as one file. Pres, sim, and text. Those are the three different types you need to think about. Presentation, simulation, and texture files. When you mod, you use only one file type at a time. So presentation is a different type of, XSF because it has they have different TOCs. Pres, sim, and text. They have their own XST, TOC, and XSM. So when you mod, you can unpack all of these, but when you mod, only use one type at a time. So you copy presentation files into a folder. So that's what I did here. I copied all the files into a different folder. Now, make sure that when you unpack these XSFs, you do it with the included script in my tool. So you need this skate3 xsf.bms. It's very important that you have this one, not any other one you found on one of my YouTube videos, but this one. Click on it, find your folder, click save, boom. It automatically puts it on your computer. And then you use this script when you unpack your XSF files, because that will leave you with these these names that have IDs in them. Each file have a corresponding ID that the game needs. So that's why. Okay, so when you have these unpacked and you have, for instance, all the presentation files in here, the way you want to use this is um, very simple. You just start it. You don't need to set any settings here. If you have any problems, what you can do is you can set the XSF ID, for instance, to black box. You don't really need it because the game doesn't really care about the XSF ID. Uh, from what I've been able to tell, it doesn't really care. But if you have problems, this can fix it. Because you never know. Maybe a mission or maybe something further into the game is asking for it, and so I just put this as an option. So you can just select black box here if you want, and then you click bulk build, and then you find your folder. So mine is XSF testing. Now I'm going to click on that, have that highlighted like that, and click OK. Now then what this is going to do is it's going to ask for a file name for, if you look right up here, build an XST table of contents file. Now what you can do is you can go in here, you can find dist blackboxparkpress.xst. You can copy only the file name part of it, like that, and then you click save. And then it's going to ask you, are you sure you want to bulk build these XSF archives? Yes. And we're done. So it's very quick. So now it built archives out of these, and it made a matching table of contents file. Now, there's another thing you will need for the game to recognize these repacked files, and that is an XSM file. So go into the game and find the already existing matching XSM. So if you're modding text, you find text.xsm. If you're modding sim, you find sim.xsm. And if you're modding presentation, you take the presentation.xsm. You copy that into your modding folder. Now, make sure that it's, only your XSF files, that only these are in here that you just built, none other XSF files. Make sure that the XST is in here, so that these and this is in here. And then you click XSM Patcher. And then that is going to ask you patch an XSM file. It's going to ask you for the XSM file. So double click it. It's going to ask, do you want to replace it? Yes. And we're done. So that's how quick it is. Um, and yeah, it's very fast. It'll tell you here if it's building or if it's done, by the way, when it's doing something. So just so you know. Now what you can do is you can just copy these files, copy, and go into your game. So here I have my game. And then you can just replace it. So let's start the game. Let's make sure that these work. And then I'm going to show you how to mod a file. And yeah. So let's see if this works. It should. I've tried it like a million times and it works every time. So it's still nerve-wracking though when you make. Okay, yeah, so it works. So as you can see, we're in Black Box Park, and it works fine. Works like normal. Of course, the Xenia emulator is pretty unstable, which is why you should, and I'm stressing this, you really should play this on a RGH or JTAG Xbox. You should, because you're not really going to enjoy it on Xenia, because it's going to have issues, like crashing issues, a lot of it as well. So, yeah, if you want to play modded skate games, get yourself an RGH Xbox, and if you need one and you live in the EU, you can just ask me, I actually have a bunch. I sell them, so yeah. So if you want to play this game, yeah, hit me up, and I will get you a RGH for cheap. So now that we know that the game loads the level when it's decompressed and repackaged as decompressed files, we can do a mod test. So what you will need now is Noesis, and what you want to do is you will need Noesis and my EA script, which I have on my Discord, and you should join it. If you haven't, I'll put a link in the description. You should join it and download my tools, and then you want to open up, so you can open up these folders, right? And yeah, so that's non-openable file. So here we have a part of the map, for instance. We go here. Let's see. Okay, so here we have the majority of the map, for instance. But what we want to mod is, let's see. Is this one, this texture, because you'll be able to tell it right away because it's the floor. So what you do is when you find a texture you want to mod, click Open in Explorer. That will then open a Explorer window with the file highlighted like that. Then you want to open up the Skate 3 texture tool, which is a tool I made a few years back. Open it, and then take the highlighted texture, put it in here, and then click Convert to XPR and TGA. That'll give you this folder inside of the tools folder, and that what you want to do then is you want to take the largest file, which is going to be the first file, only called font cm raster, like that. And if you compare the file sizes of these, that's the largest one. Double click it, right, like this, and let's say I want to make this like another color, for instance. Oh, no, that's not it. Then I can use this tool in here. So let's make this something very noticeable. So preserve highlights. Let's do something like this, right? So then we want to save it as a TGA, and we make sure this is not compressed. Cannot be compressed. It has to be 32-bit and uncompressed. Hit OK. So now we saved it, and then you drag it on here and click Repack XPR RX2. Boom. That'll give you this file, and this is just the modded file. So all you need to do is go back in here to your folding that you're modding from, right? Replace it like that, right? And then open up the XSF tool and click bulk build again, and XSF, and then XST is already here, so we can click save on that just to replace that. Click yes, and we're done already. Click XSM Patcher, double click it, yes, and we're done, and that's it. Now if we take these files and we copy them in here and launch the emulator again, now when we get into the map, it should be bluish. It should be pretty close to this color. So let's see if it works. So that's how simple it is. So if you do a whole bunch, if you do all these textures, you can just repack once, boom, all of them done in one go. So yeah, it's pretty cool. Boom, there we go. Look at that. Now we have a different different color. So that is how simple that is. You can replace that with a tileable, like another texture to make the map look very different. I'll show you what that would look like. And the way I'll show that is I actually already have, if we check mods, I have texture mod here. I already got a texture mod. So I'm going to do the same thing. Bulk build. And click yes. Now since I already have this, I can get the name from here now. Save. Yes. XSM Patcher. Replace. Boom, we're done. And then we take these and copy them over. So this is how quick it is. It's really fucking quick and simple. And once you get it down and you know how it works, it's yeah, it's awesome. Okay. Let's go in here, and this should make the level look very different. Look at this. I even made normals for the floor, so you can see there's depth between the planks. It's crazy. It's really cool. So yeah, so for this one, it looks very different. It gives us a whole different feel on this map. So yeah. I hope this tutorial is clear enough. I hope you understand how it works. And yeah, I mean, if you still have questions, you can ask them in the comments or in my Discord, preferably, which I will have linked in the description. Um, and yeah, once again, if you want to play this, I would advise you to get an RGH. And there are a lot of people that are really good at building them. So there's people like Octal, who has the Octal's console shop in the US. So if you're in the States, you can buy RGH consoles from Octal. Josh, his name is Josh, I'm pretty sure. I'll have a link to his Discord as well, and his website. And if you are in the EU, or in Europe in general, um, you can hit me up and I will hook you up with an RGH Trinity or a Falcon or a Jasper, any one of the, in my opinion, better consoles. So, so yeah. Um, Thank you for watching, and peace out.